scary Ouija board. It was a cold Friday night when four friends, Maya, a cautious psychology major, Liam, a thrill seeker with a stubborn streak, Serena, a skeptic with a quick wit, and Jake, the jokester always chasing a thrill, gathered at Maya's family cabin deep in the woods. The air inside was heavy with the scent of burning firewood, while outside the trees seemed to close in, casting twisted shadows. The plan was simple: escape the stress of college and enjoy a weekend getaway. But Jake had a different plan. He pulled out an old Ouija board from his backpack, its surface cracked and worn as though touched by many hands over the years. The edges of the board had strange markings, symbols none of them could identify, and it seemed to hum faintly when placed on the floor. "Where did you get that?" Maya asked, her voice uncertain. "Thrift shop downtown," Jake replied, trying to sound casual, but his grin faltered. He hadn't told them about the strange woman who sold it to him, her cold white eyes glaring as she warned, "The board is not a game, it wants a soul." He thought it was a joke, but the moment he touched it, a shiver ran down his spine. "Come on, Jake," Serena rolled her eyes. "You don't actually believe in this stuff, do you? It's just a board." Jake shrugged, but his unease was growing. "Let's find out." They sat in a circle on the creaky wooden floor, dimming the lights until the room was only lit by a few flickering candles. The temperature seemed to drop as the wind outside grew louder. The trees scratched at the window as if trying to warn them. They placed their fingers on the planchette. Maya felt an uneasiness, not just because of the board, but something more. She had vague memories of her grandmother telling her stories about the cabin, of warnings to never invite what can't be seen. It didn't make sense then, but now her heart raced with a deep-rooted fear she couldn't explain. Jake spoke first, his voice low and cautious. "Spirits, if anyone is here, give us a sign." For a long moment, nothing happened. The candles flickered, but the room remained silent. Then the planchette jerked sharply beneath their fingers. Maya's breath hitched. "It's just Jake messing with us," Serena muttered, but her voice lacked its usual confidence. The planchette slid to YES. Jake, trying to keep the mood light, grinned. "Okay, who are we talking to?" The planchette began to spell EMILY. Maya froze. Her hands started to shake. "Emily? No, this isn't right." "What is it?" Liam asked, leaning closer. "That was my grandmother's name," Maya whispered. "She died in this cabin." The group fell silent, the tension thick enough to choke on. The wind outside seemed to scream, rattling the windows harder. Jake swallowed hard but kept his cool. "That's a creepy coincidence, right?" But the planchette wasn't done. It spelled out, quickly and deliberately, ISEEYOU. The air in the room grew cold, unnaturally so. The flames of the candles flickered violently, as if something was breathing near them. Serena pulled her hands back, her skepticism crumbling. "Okay, that's enough. I don't like this." Maya's voice trembled. "I think we should stop." But Jake, determined to prove it was just a game, shook his head. "It's not real. Look, let's ask what it wants. Emily, what do you want?" The planchette moved again, spelling faster than before. DONTSTOP, DANGER. Serena backed away from the board. "Danger? What danger?" Liam frowned, panic creeping into his voice. "This isn't funny anymore. Who's doing this?" Suddenly, the cabin door slammed open with a violent gust of wind, extinguishing the candles and plunging them into darkness. In the faint light from the window, they could see something reflected in the glass. Figures. At first, they thought it was their own reflections, but then the figures moved on their own. The faces were twisted versions of themselves, their eyes hollow and their mouths twisted into wide, inhuman grins. Maya gasped. "Those aren't us." Liam's voice was shaking now. "What the hell is going on?" We need to get out of here. But as he turned to the door, the reflection of Liam didn't move. Instead, it raised its hand to the glass, tracing letters in blood-red streaks. T-R-A-D-E. They want one of us, Maya whispered, her heart pounding. We've done something terrible, Serena whimpered, her skepticism completely gone. I don't want to be here anymore. But before they could react, the reflection of Serena in the glass twisted and distorted. Her body jerked violently, her back arching as though something invisible was pulling her away from reality itself. She let out a strangled scream as her reflection stepped out of the glass. This Serena was wrong. Her eyes were dead, her smile a grotesque parody of human expression. Serena, Jake whispered, his voice barely audible. The thing that looked like Serena turned to him, a wicked grin stretching across its face. She's gone. It's just me now. The room seemed to close in on them as the shadows thickened, and the wind outside howled like a chorus of voices. The planchette moved on its own again, sliding violently across the board. O-N-E-M-U-S-T-S-T-A-Y. Maya's breath caught in her throat. What do you mean, one must stay? The reflection Serena laughed, a hollow, echoing sound. The board demands a soul. One of you must stay with me. She stepped closer to Jake, her hollow eyes gleaming. The rest belonged to the board. Panic erupted as Liam grabbed the door, throwing it open. But what lay beyond wasn't the forest anymore. It was a void, an endless darkness, swirling with shadows that whispered faintly, as if they were waiting for something. Jake turned to Maya, his voice cracking. We have to stop it. There has to be a way out. Maya's eyes were wide with terror, but she remembered something, a story her grandmother told her, a warning about the board. Jake, the board, it's cursed. It was made by someone who used it to trap souls. That's why it was in the thrift shop. No one wanted it. Jake paled, realization dawning on him. What do we do? Maya's hands trembled as she looked at the planchette. We need to send it back. We need to close it. The planchette moved again, faster and more violently. T-O-O-L-A-T-E. Serena, or whatever had taken her place, laughed again. It's never too late. You've already invited us. In a final act of desperation, Maya grabbed the Ouija board, slamming her hands down on it. We're leaving. This game is over. The board's planchette shot across the surface, pointing violently to goodbye. The wind outside stopped. The cabin fell eerily silent, the candles flickering back to life. Serena, or whatever had taken her place, stood still for a moment before dissolving into shadows, vanishing as if she had never been there. The reflection in the window remained, however. 3 distorted faces stared back, their smiles wide and unnatural. Above them, scrawled in blood-red letters, were the words, "One must stay. The rest are mine."